Does reality depend on your perception? Hey, quick check. Feel the chair under you. Really feel it. Now ask yourself, would it still be solid if you stopped believing it was? Wild thought, right? Not poetry, physics. Tonight we're walking through the lab results, the mind-bending experiments, and the everyday moments that all point to the same possibility. The outside world isn't just out there. It's part handshake, part projection, and you're one of the writers. Section 1. Setting the stage. Let's get clear on 2 words before we race ahead. 1. Reality equals whatever keeps ticking when no one's looking. 2. Perception equals the brain's best guess about that ticking, built from whatever light, sound, and pressure happens to hit your senses. Most of us assume the two match perfectly. Tonight we're asking if that assumption crashes the moment we turn the microscope up to 11. Section 2. Exhibit A. The double-slit experiment. Picture a single electron fired at a wall with 2 tiny slits. Common sense says it'll go through A or B, land on the back screen, done. But when no one's watching, the electron acts like a wave, slips through both slits, and interferes with itself, leaving stripes on the screen like ripples on a pond. The moment you stick a detector on one slit, just to peek, the stripes vanish. The particle makes a single dot. Translation: the electron waits for a conscious look before deciding what it is. If the smallest bits of matter are this polite, what's the rest of the universe doing while your back is turned? Section 3. Exhibit B. The dress. Remember the dress that broke the internet? White gold versus blue black, families divided at dinner, same image, same retinas, different realities. Brain scans showed the split wasn't in the eyes, but in the visual cortex's lighting assumptions. Each mind quietly placed the photo under warm indoor bulb or cool daylight, then handed you a finished picture you never voted on. If your brain can flip a dress worldwide in a heartbeat, what else is it color-coding without permission? Section 4. Exhibit C. Wigner's friend. Physicist Eugene Wigner pushed the slit experiment further. Imagine 2 scientists, Wigner and his friend. Inside a sealed lab, the friend measures the electron and writes wave or particle in his notebook. Outside, Wigner hasn't looked yet. According to quantum math, the whole lab, including the friend, remains in a superposition until Wigner opens the door and asks, "So now we've got a friend who's already recorded reality, yet from Wigner's view that same friend is still in limbo." The takeaway: 2 observers can legitimately disagree on what already happened until they compare notes. Your reality isn't just personal, it might be non-transferable until you negotiate it. Section 5. Exhibit D. Hallucinations we all share. Close your eyes and grab your coffee mug. You can still feel the handle, right? That's your brain running a live simulation, updating only when the world screams, "Nope, wrong." Neuroscientist Anil Seth calls this controlled hallucination. You're not passively reading the mug, you're dreaming it, and the dream is so accurate the mug rarely complains. Most of the time, the hallucination is good enough that the world never bothers to correct you. Section 6. Exhibit E. The simulation argument. In 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom pointed out that at least one of these must be true. 1. Civilizations never reach tech maturity. 2. Advanced ones never run ancestor simulations. 3. We're almost certainly in one. Sounds crazy until you remember we already simulate pocket universes for fun. Ray-traced cities, NPCs with daily routines. If consciousness can be coded, the odds you're the original biological layer shrink fast. And if reality is a sim, Perception is literally the graphics card rendering only the pixels you're watching to save GPU juice. Section 7. What about shared reality? Fair question. If perception writes reality, why do traffic lights behave for everyone? Two stabilizers. First, evolution. The hominids who saw different tigers didn't last. Second, language. When we both point and say red, we're syncing our private servers until the models match. Shared reality isn't one solid landscape. It's more like a multiplayer game running on separate consoles, kept in lockstep by constant low-latency updates. Section 8. The rubber hand illusion. Stick your real hand under the table, place a rubber hand on top, and have a friend brush both in rhythm. In under 2 minutes, most people feel the rubber hand as their own. The brain shrugs, hand I see, hand I feel must be mine. Researchers have stretched this further. VR can make you feel you're floating outside your body or shrunk to doll size. Even your body's borders are editable. Pause here. Think of the last argument you had about what really happened at a party, who said what, who spilled the drink. Drop a comment with that story. Right now, you and the other person might still be living in incompatible timelines. I'm reading every single one, and my favorite gets pinned. Section 10. Putting it together. Quantum particles wait for an observer. Brains hallucinate stability. Cultures negotiate rules, and somewhere a higher layer might be simulating traffic jams for entertainment. Each strand is wild on its own. Together they suggest the external world isn't pre-baked. It's co-authored partly by whatever's out there, partly by the lens you were born with, partly by the stories you've agreed to tell. Section 11. The cost of knowing. So, if reality is perception, can you wish the rent away? Not quite. Tigers still bite. But the frame gives you leverage. Cognitive behavioral therapy works because it helps people rewrite the predictive models that fuel anxiety. Placebo pills cure measurable symptoms because the brain expects them to. Elite athletes rehearse victories so vividly that muscles respond as if the win already happened. Changing perception doesn't erase hard limits, but it bends them more than we usually admit. Section 12. The final lens. Imagine you're lucid inside a dream, and you just realized it. Most dreamers waste the moment flying or summoning pizza. But lucid dreamers know the real power is attention itself. Stare at a wall and it's brick. Look away and it's fog. Modern neuroscience hints waking life is a more consensual dream. The brick wall feels solid because every observer in the room is signing the same contract. If enough minds rewrote the contract, maybe the wall would shimmer and redraw itself. Conclusion. The question that lingers. So does reality depend on your perception? After quantum cats, color-flipping dresses, shared hallucinations, and cosmic GPUs, the evidence says yes, at least partly. Which leaves a sharper question. If you're co-creating the cosmos moment by moment, what happens if you stop editing on autopilot and start editing with intention? Could you, by changing the story you tell yourself, change the texture of tomorrow? Leave your answer in the comments. If enough of us test the same thought experiment, we might converge on a brand new layer of real. And hey, if this video only exists while you're watching, another click keeps the universe alive.